Modern Standby won't drain your battery anymore, according to
Allegedly.
Microsoft. Windows 11, yeah, according to Microsoft, can also be used that way. Windows 11 background processes won't trigger Modern Standby issues, meaning you'll no longer see excessive battery drain when your machine should be in the S0 sleep state. Previously, certain processes were able to break the machine out of the sleep state without the user's knowledge, leading to unexpected battery use. And in many cases, it is now stored somewhere that it's difficult for it to breathe. So like a backpack or something like that. And it can also go into really, really bad thermal situations.
Yep. And those thermal situations can be exacerbated by the use of, say, for example, liquid metal thermal interface material, which when it's stored in a backpack, completely enclosed, and the laptop gets super hot for no reason whatsoever and is on its side for an extended period of time, can lead to some pretty bad stuff.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It can lead to unexpected battery use. Naturally, in a good environment, it can lead to other even worse things in a bad environment. In newer builds, Windows will now try to prevent the PC from waking up. Without the user opening the lid or pressing the power button. The discussion question is, has anyone not employed by Microsoft confirmed this is actually fixed? I don't think anyone's completed testing on this yet. I'm sure other people are, and please check theirs out as well. But Labs is going to be cooking on this a little bit. We obviously have other things we're already working on, but this is something we will be looking to as well. So hopefully we'll have updates for you there. I'm sure there will be an article, if nothing else. And yeah, I hope other people check it out too, because this is going to be something that's relatively difficult to conclusively make statements on.
Okay, I have a fantastic test system for you. My Elite book that I've been daily driving lately is, I would say, a solid 1 out of 8 times is going to be like piping hot when I take it out of my backpack. And so it comes up for me a lot, just because this is kind of funny. I haven't had a desktop at work for like a year. It was back when I did the Qualcomm Snapdragon 30-day challenge.
Yeah.
I stopped using my desktop because I was supposed to be using Snapdragon for a month. And then I had some issues with my NCIX PC desktop. And then I just never went back to not just using my laptop on a dock. Even though I went back to x86 more recently with a Strix Halo machine. So that HP, I don't know that I would necessarily blame HP for this, but I run into this all the flipping time, and it is so freaking annoying.
People are very rightfully pointing out that MacBooks don't really have this issue.
Nope.
And also pointing out that Linux laptops don't really have this issue.
Nope.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
I mean, hey, we're kicking the Linux challenge off, I think, in this next coming week, right?
Yeah.
And I told Elijah I want 5 drives. So my desktop upstairs, my desktop downstairs, my work laptop, my handheld, and then I think there was one other one. I was like, I'm doing it. Luke, I'm going for it this time.
Yeah.
I'm not going to touch Windows for a month.
Do we help each other at all?
Interesting. No.
Like how? Like.
Because okay, so here, hold on. Let me put it this way.
Because I think I agree with you, but I have some comments.
Because I would think, a very community-driven initiative like Linux, right? You would think, well, yeah, community is, well, why not your immediate community?
It's part of it, right?
Yeah. And if your community was like Linux noobs, who are also on this journey at the same time, I would say that is kosher. I'd say that that's fair game. But I don't think some of the other folks in our cohort would really qualify as a Linux noob. And then where do we draw the line? Like, am I allowed to call Wendell? I feel like for me, I kind of still want to be me. I'm not going to completely pretend to not know anything because this is not my first kick at the can. but I'm not going to just leverage the resources that I have. I think Elijah has a line in the script that's something along the lines of like, not everyone has Torvalds on speed dial, right? Like we can't we can't be us either. It has to be somewhere in the middle.
Elijah just trying to flex as per usual. Yeah, okay, fair enough.
I mean, it's a pretty cool flex.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not sure how this is going to go for me.
I think yours is going to be kind of boring, just because you're like dailying it already.
Yeah. But like, it hasn't truly been daily, because that laptop has had so many hardware issues that it's been bouncing back and forth between getting serviced and coming back to me, that sometimes I end up back on Windows for a while, and then I go back to running various versions of Linux. Linux has genuinely never been the problem, and I have verified multiple times that it happens. I have 2 drives in the machine now, so I have one for Windows and one for Linux.
Right.
Well, not realistically. I have one that is split in half for Windows and Linux, then I have a storage drive, but whatever. You know what I mean? And yeah, they want me to like try to verify that it's working under Windows, because they just don't believe me. So it's like, okay, I'm running Windows and I ran into the same problem again. Thank you, please fix. And then after I have it for like a little while, if I know they're going to repair it, I go back to Linux anyways, because that's what I want to be using. But I've been like verifying the issues within Windows. And it's a problem in both. It's definitely like hardware issues with the laptop. It has nothing to do with software at all. But
that's
so
annoying.
yeah, I've been bouncing back and forth. So I can't quite say that I've been dailying it, but I have been fairly actively using it for a long time now, and feel pretty comfortable in it. But I'm also not really gaming much on that laptop. I find personally, and I'm genuinely not intentionally calling anyone out here, but even a video that I publicly said I liked a lot, and I do like a lot. Whenever you see creators do like Linux iSwitch challenges, it's always framed as a challenge, and that always involves doing things that are particularly difficult in Linux.
I don't even...
This stood out... Hold on, let me finish talking. This stood out to me because when I switched Linux on my laptop, I just did what I always do, and it was literally never a problem.
All right.
Ever. But everyone always has like a thing, and it's very common that it's creators, and creators always have to edit videos, and this is like a known problem, is that like Premiere doesn't work very well.
Right.
So they run into like the editing videos problem, and then they're like, oops, it doesn't work. And it's like, yeah, okay, well, that was predictable, because all the other iSwitch videos also tried to edit videos and also had problems. So it's like, I don't know.
Let the record show that right there was definitive proof that anything can happen once. Luke did, in fact, get to finish talking. But I'm still going to jump in now that you're done. And defend myself.
Yeah.
I don't think anything that we tried to do as part of our last I Switched was unrealistic or unreasonable. Because I wasn't trying to edit video.
Our last I Switch was
I don't edit video.
Our last I Switch was pretty successful, though.
I mean, I had a lot of issues.
I'm not necessarily saying I had a problem with our previous run at it.
Oh, okay.
I just like, in general, I think I don't know. I would implore the audience to pay attention to the things that, we, the three of us, or anyone else has actual problems with, instead of just their conclusion being that there was some problems with what they were doing. Like if they play, if you play games that are Proton Platinum and you just run some basic applications and spend the vast majority of your time in a web browser, like an enormously massive percentage of users, then in a lot of cases, you know what? I actually won't say this as a definitive statement. I suspect in a lot of cases it's going to be totally fine, but we'll see how it ends up going. Yeah.
All right. I can't see Dan's
Luke's saying there's a negative connotation to challenge that suggests there was a problem. That's part of it, but I think that is definitely part of it. But I also think people put themselves in situations intentionally sometimes. It's like the whole throwing for content thing, right? You put yourself in situations intentionally that will cause contention and will cause issues, because that is insanely more interesting on camera. If I went to explain my laptop experience with Linux on camera, I would sit down and be like, it was fine. I used a web browser and it was fine. I didn't have any problems. I had to Google how to update it, and then I went, oh, okay, that's how. And then I updated it and it was fine. Like, no one's going to care about that. So you have to like do something. Like, they're literally promoting Linux by putting it in difficult situations that it's not going to do well at, because then at least more people will see the video and you might get more people to adopt it. Like, I'm not going after the creators here, to be clear. It's a complicated situation. I just want people to understand that, like, just because it has problems doing certain things doesn't mean that it will always, for one, and for two, doesn't mean that you're necessarily doing that. How many people in the audience are actually editing videos?
Okay, that is such a hilarious thing for you to bring up, because so much of how we make decisions is totally not based on what we actually do.
Dude, we know about that from GPU review videos that we make.
Oh yeah, and look at Apple's marketing. How laser focused are they on on how creative you can be with your iPhone? And there is absolutely a subset of the users that are, going to be, the next filmmakers, the next generation of filmmakers. But there's also a lot of users that are just sitting in Starbucks browsing Facebook on their MacBook. And that's all they were realistically ever going to do on it. And they could have had a Chromebook, and they would have had quite literally exactly the same user experience.
Yeah, my phone is largely sold on its camera, and 90% of the photos that I take are of my parking spots. That's
the most Luke thing you've said at least today.
I was reviewing my photos from New York, and it's it's where I parked my car at the airport. And that's like it.
It's funny because there's certain things that you do and there's certain places that you go that you take a lot of pictures.
That is true. That is
like
true.
When you went to that,
a bunch in Alaska.
And that get away from it all place you went in Taiwan.
Yeah.
You took a ton of pictures there. Like you were behaving like a relative I haven't seen in a couple of years. How many pictures you wanted to show me? Like, it was crazy.
Yeah, that's true.
But other than that, like you almost seem weirded out if I pull out a phone at dinner and I'm like, let's take a picture. Like, it's like, why? To what end?
Yeah, for some reason, my brain's like, people or building? No. Leaf? Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Rock? Yes. I don't know why.
Parking spot? Triple yes.
Yeah. For sure. Every time.